So we got the 5-hour energy. You know, I want to be like that guy. He looks like he's having a blast. I think it's the same mountain we're about to climb. So I'm gonna chug it right now. Pomegranate.
Hello, humans of the interweb. Welcome to Switchbacks and Bottlecaps. Brienne here.
Rolling here.
And today we're going to cover Cowles Mountain and Pyles Peak. We did it last night. It was a night hike.
Night hikes. It is the highest peak in San Diego as well.
It's a busy little staging area.
Staging area, Cowles Mountain. We're at the bottom. A lot of people coming down the mountain. And we going up. Got Loganberry 08 here with us.
So you go into the staging area and it has a nice bathroom.
I would rate the bathrooms 6.5. Again, we're at the end of the day. So bathroom's a little messy.
They were dirty.
Maybe a 6.
When we were doing a night hike, so we probably got to the staging area right around
Sunset,
5:30ish.
5:30ish.
And it was full.
Yeah, we got the one spot inside. I don't know how, but even along the road there was so many cars just parked along the road. And then we get to the trailhead. Actually, when we were getting ready,
You just park and you just look up the mountain, and it's like an amusement park, a line.
it looked like a line at Disneyland with everybody with lights on their head coming down the mountain. Just woo woo woo. There was even music playing and people had boom boxes. It was so great. I felt like I was at a party, you know. I felt like I was going to a party. It sucked.
So this is a warning. If you are like us and you enjoy hiking kind of for the solitude,
being more secluded and kind of having the trail to yourself, this is probably not the hike for you. But it is a good hike. I mean, the views up top are worth it. But it's depending on what kind of hiker you are. If you like to see a lot of people, if you're a social hiker, this could be definitely the hike for you. But if you like the solitude, this probably wouldn't be the hike. Up to the point where right before the trail, I've never seen trail etiquette that's like so apparent that saying, you know, yield to downhill. Hikers yield to downhill runners. And
no loud music.
No loud music. It's one of the big things. They even put that there. People do carry around boom boxes. And then pick up your trash too. The trail actually itself was pretty clean. At the top they do have trash cans at the top that get emptied. So there was some trash up there. This is a dog friendly hike as well, so you can bring your dog. There's some dog bowls even up at the top. So anyway, starting up the mountain is a pretty quick climb. I mean, within about a half a mile to the top, it has an elevation gain of about 1,200 feet. So it climbs pretty high, pretty quickly. It is pretty technical. We saw a lot of people coming down the mountain without headlights, without proper hiking attire. We might have been over-prepared or something, but a lot of people were slipping, and it just didn't seem like we're not the most experienced hikers, but it didn't seem like the most experienced people were coming down from that. So there's that.
Just be careful. You don't want to take someone out
Take a light if you're going up and you know it's going to be dark by the time you're coming down.
And go slowly. Like a couple people, like one of the guys, we saw a runner and he like tripped and fell. And then we saw another guy and he was trying to pass some people on the right, so he was off the trail and then he slipped.
Looked like a rock went up his butthole. It would not look fun.
We probably shouldn't say that. But
if you're that guy, that sucks, dude. Sorry.
You should just be patient. You know, it's a very busy hike. Yeah. We knew that going in that it was going to be busy. So be courteous.
Be patient. Like I said, if you're prepared for a lot of people, we didn't think there'd be that many people when we were doing a night hike. Going up there was, and coming back down. Actually, we'll get to coming back down a bit. Yeah. So once you get to the top, once you got about halfway, the people started thinning out. And like I said, it is a pretty technical hike. It is a good elevation climb. It's a pretty good workout. So what we did is we got to the summit of Cowles. Then we got there. They have some signs that you can map out other peaks that you can see. From up there, it's a super nice view. You can see 360-degree view of San Diego. You can see the downtown. You can see to Santee. You can see El Cajon on the east side of the mountain. You can see up for the 52 and Mission Gorge Road. Actually, if you are at the top too, you can look out to Coronado, and pretty much you can see the cars going up the bridge. So it actually looks like it's something coming from the horizon, but it's actually the cars going up the bridge to Coronado. So that was pretty cool to see.
It was nice to see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because I'm not familiar with the area, so you just I would have had no idea that was Lake Murray right there. But the signs are very clear, and that was nice.
So coming up, you come up right the face of it. You get a really good view of the south, and when you get to the top, it's 360. And so what we did to kind of push the hike a little more, which actually was our favorite part of the hike, is we went to Pyles Peak, which adds about another 1.5 miles or more, so 3 round trip to the whole hike in general. So we went up to Cowles, and then we veered off to the left of the trail.
Behind the summit, we went left.
And you'll be on the fire road for maybe 20 to 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another trail that drops to the left, and that's the trail to Pyles Peak. And there's another peak up there as well. What peak is that?
That was like a lookout.
A lookout, yeah. Pyles Lookout.
But we went to Pyles Peak.
Yeah, and that was actually super fun. The trail was a little more narrow, and you can tell it just wasn't traveled as much. The brush is a little bit more overgrown, not much, but just from coming up the super well-traveled trail, you can tell the difference.
And we didn't see one person on this.
From the summit here to the summit of Pyles, we didn't see a single person, which was really cool. It did get kind of eerie, kind of spooky when we dropped down, because it kind of drops you down into the valley. It's deceptively far from Cowles. It looks like it's not that far, but it actually wraps around and kind of through some mountains. So this was a full moon on the night we went, but it was cloudy. So there's parts of it where you're kind of surrounded by just black because you can't see. It wasn't moonlit. We did have our lights, but it was just kind of a weird, eerie feeling. Mm-hmm. It was kind of cool. I really liked it. Going up there, and then once you get to pretty much the base, right before you go up to the peak of the Pyles Peak, there's a little lookout point right there too. But then from the lookout point where those diverge, it's a
quarter mile straight up.
It's pretty straight up. It's a pretty technical climb, big steps, loose gravel,
but totally worth it.
Totally worth it. And you get up to the kind of the end of the trail. There's like a dome rock that you can sit on that's pretty cool. We saw some crazy ants up there.
We saw some ants and some
giant ants. They were like super huge from I feel like than regular. We saw some snails having sex.
Yeah,
snails
that was interesting.
Sex, yeah, sexy snails. So, but it was really cool up there. From then you get a better view, kind of north, looking over the 52 and Mission Gorge Road, and then you can actually look back at Cowles from there. And by that time when we were there, the top of Cowles, you couldn't even see the summit anymore because there was cloud coverage. So it was kind of like right in the cloud coverage. So it was clear at the bottom. You can see the mountain, and then all of a sudden the summit just vanishes on top, which we later ended up going through.
Ooh, look how much clearer it is.
I know. The top of the mountain was getting kind of thick. But dude, look how much Cowles is still under the cloud.
I think that if on a clear day you were to look out, go up to Pyles Peak, you could probably see some mountain ranges. We couldn't see anything because it was dark.
Yeah.
And very cloudy.
Very cloudy, yeah. And so when we came back down, we went to the summit the viewpoint from Pyles that we were talking about, and kind of took some pictures. That was super magical. It was a very magical time of the hike, you know. It just looked really cool. The light was coming down. The moon came out from on the other side of the clouds.
Only time the moon came out.
Yeah, so we're at that. We're sitting there, and then all of a sudden the moon came out. So that shot that I took is like right when the moon came out, and then we headed back from there. Right, we started going up the mountain.
You just retrace your steps back on
just
Pyles.
Back. It was kind of crazy. We had to actually stop and put on our ponchos and our rain jackets because I think by that time we're definitely hiking in like a cloud because it was super dense and super moist, and we just had to put everything on. We were literally in that cloud that we're talking about that covers Cowles. We were inside that.
It's heavy misting. I wouldn't call this rain. Would you call it rain? Would anybody here call it rain?
I think we're in a straight cloud.
I think we're in a cloud.
So we're just like
You can't see it right now, but if you look at Cowles.
Look at my jacket.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty moist. But if you look at Cowles, it is completely inside of a cloud, and that's where we're going to get back.
It felt like it was raining.
It did. It was like a super heavy mist.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. You know, it was eerie as well. And then
as soon as we got up to Cowles Summit, you know, you finish Pyles Peak, you get on the fire road. As soon as we got up to Cowles, we started seeing people again, which was really
it's
strange.
Like back to reality. Like you got to climb up high and then come back to just to get back to reality. It was strange.
Yeah.
There's like this one solo guy up there who's like looking out into the
clouds.
fog. He looked like he was looking at something far away. He was like, it's just like a wall of fog in front of his face. So when we started coming down too, it was kind of getting trippy. You know, we were totally coming down, and all these kids were going up the hill, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I thought one of our phones like hit like our pockets and started playing music because I started hearing. I was like, what the fuck is that? And so well, this is the funny part. So apparently those kids brought a boombox up there, and like there was probably a good 15 people we saw heading up when we were going down, all kind of younger. Some of them weren't, all carrying flashlights. And then it was like I turned around to look up to the summit, and because of all this, you know, the lights of people going up, it looked like I was at like a rave because I hear this at the top of the trail, and all these flashlights. Like I think they were having a dance party up there with flashlights.
Yeah.
It was kind of a trip. But after that, coming down, once we dropped beneath the cloud layer, it was clear again. The mist slowly cut off. But like I said, it's always good. What we're finding out is always come prepared to a hike, even though it wasn't supposed to rain or anything. Actually, no, there was a chance of rain, but we didn't think we were going to catch it. When we didn't actually catch rain, but we caught heavy mist. So luckily, we had our hard shells and our ponchos, and we had just stuff that would our lights. So being prepared definitely helped, and that was really good. So overall, this hike was kind of hard to rate because initially you had to go through a lot of people and kind of unexperienced hikers. Even though we aren't very experienced, these people are like, dude, they should not be on the mountain right now. They're like slipping and falling.
and just not using proper etiquette, which is kind of frustrating.
Yeah. So like, I always thought that uphill should have the right of way because it takes more energy to stop and keep going than it does to slow down while you're coming downhill. But this is kind of the opposite at Cowles, so it's more friendly for groups, I guess, and stuff like that. But like the second part of the hike out to Pyles, we loved. It was great, super secluded. We didn't see one person. We saw like a baby owl or something in the middle of the trail. It was like super, just a magical part of the trail. It was awesome. So actually, this was probably one of the more strenuous hikes we did, especially with going to Pyles. And we had a pretty quick pace. We actually didn't time this one, but we were going pretty quickly. And up the Pyles is like pretty steep incline. So we built up an appetite. So we actually didn't bottle cap it that night. We just went straight to In-N-Out, baby. I mean, double. Brian got her grilled cheese, Loganberry grilled cheese, Cokes. So it was a dirty one. But it was good. It was super worth it. So overall with this hike out to Pyles Peak, you're going to go through Cowles Mountain. It's about around 6 or so miles, maybe a little more, a little less round trip. You're going to get an elevation gain of 1,700 feet out to Pyles. That's including the climb up to Cowles. The top of Cowles Peak is about 1,590 feet above sea level, so that's why you get that awesome view. And if it gets magical out there, this hike will take who knows how long. We don't really know how long it took. So, yeah. Overall, we recommend it. It's good for conditioning. You did see a lot of people out there. I feel like there's a lot of New Year's resolutioners. That's why they might have been inexperienced a little bit doing their hikes. But if you like people, you like high-fiving people on the way up and on the way down, this is a hike for you. For us, it was cool to Pyles because there was no one out there. We're like kind of secluded a little bit. But we want to hike with you. So if you want to hike with us, tell us.
Not at Cowles.
Not at Cowles. So I believe that's it. Wraps it up.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.